Hi everyone, this is Susie Languren. That's my last name. Languren is my last name, in case you were wondering. And today we are going to be making some vegan enchiladas that I promised you the other day. So here are some of the ingredients. I couldn't fit all of them in there, but here are some of the ingredients we will be using. Here are the chiles, all the chiles that I used for the mole sauce for the enchiladas. And we are going to serve them with some carrots and some potatoes, and then we are going to top them off with some lettuce, homemade queso fresco, some chopped onions, some sour cream, and also I'm going to make a tomato salsa to go on top. And I think that's it, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to soak our chiles for the mole, where we're going to be putting in our tortillas for the enchiladas. And if you saw my vegan menudo video, and you do have some of the leftover mole, then you don't need to do anything at this point. So if you do have that mole, we're just going to use that mole, okay? If you didn't watch that video, then I am going to be making another mole sauce for you today. And what you do is you clean or wash your chiles, your dried chiles, you put them in a bowl, and you can cut them in half if they're too big. And what I do is I like to warm up some, water so that it's hot, and then I just pour that hot water over my chiles, and then I just put a plate over it like this so that it weighs down the chiles and they all get soaked and become soft again. And you at least want to do that for like half an hour, or you can do it overnight as well. And then once that's done, then I'll show you the next step. But right now I'm going to show you what chiles I soaked, okay? Okay, so the first chile that I used was chile guajillo. This is the most common chile, the chile that you use for most moles. And you can use chile guajillo by itself. You don't have to use any other chile, and this is what it looks like. And like I say, I like to rinse them because sometimes they're a little dusty, and you just break off the stem before you soak them. And you can do, if you're going to do this mole, I would probably do around maybe 3 or 4 of the chile guajillo. And that would be it, and that's absolutely fine. But I decided to get a little fancy today and just give you other options. So the other chile that I used was I did one chile pasilla. You can read pasilla pepper. So I used one of these. I used one of the guajillo. I used one of the ancho, just to make the sauce a little bit more interesting. That's chile ancho. I used one of these. And then I did 2 of the chile pulla. Okay, these are the smaller ones. So I did that, and like I said, you can just do chile guajillo by itself. So you soak those for at least half an hour or overnight, and then you're ready to go. So let's keep going. Okay, so I cut up my potatoes and carrots, and I put them in a pot with water and salt, and we're just going to cook these until fork tender, okay? Okay, the one thing I forgot to mention to you guys is that usually if you've ever made enchiladas, you know they're really messy because you have to like roll them with the mole sauce and you get your fingers all dirty and stuff. I make mine differently, so if you are like me and you don't like getting messy while you're making your enchiladas, then this will be a great way to enjoy your enchiladas without all the mess. Okay, so now we're going to do our mole sauce. And for this, you can put gloves on if you want, or maybe grab some of these or something if you don't want your hands to get, the chile in it. And I don't take the seeds out because I put them in my Vitamix and it doesn't really matter. And now if they still have any stems, just remove the stems and place all the chiles in your blender. And then I have 3 cloves of garlic, but obviously you don't have to add this much garlic. I love garlic, but you can add maybe 1 or half or no garlic. It's not necessary, and you just add some of the liquid. Okay, so a while back ago, I did my mole for the enchiladas one day, and I added chile chipotle, and I really liked it, even though it came out like super spicy. So I'm going to add a little bit of the, this is actually I think just like the chopped onion, but it still has the flavor of the chipotle, so I'm going to add a little bit of that. and it might come out pretty spicy. I will let you guys know, and if it does, I'll tell you. So if you like spice, the chile chipotle just gives it an amazing flavor. If you're not that fond of spice, then don't add it, okay? And then I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of salt, and we'll see if it needs more. And we're just going to blend this really well, okay? And I'll be back. Okay, so that is the mole right there, okay? And I did add a total of about 1 teaspoon of salt, because it did need a little bit more. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just strain our mole. So that way it doesn't have to be, you know, so smoothly blended, because we are going to strain this. And then you can just add a little bit of water, or if you had any leftover liquid of your soaking liquid with the chiles, you can just add that liquid, and we're just going to mix this really well. Give it a shake. And pour that in there. And we're just going to strain this completely, okay? Okay, so here's our mole sauce. And the other thing is that you do have to be very careful, because this mole does stain. So it would probably be a good idea to wear an apron or something, and then wipe everything down if it does touch your counter or anything like that, because it will stain it. And then this is how it would look. I don't know if you can see it. It is a little thick, but not super thick. If it's too thick, I don't like it super thick, but if it's too watery, then it won't stick to your tortillas. So you want it something like this, okay? If you can see it, okay? And the mole was about 2½ cups. It yielded about 2½ cups. And once you're cooking it, you will notice that once it's being, you know, warmed up, it does start to thicken. You can just add water to that, and it'll loosen back up again. So that way you don't have to worry about it, because if it gets too thick, then it'll dry up and it doesn't taste good. So okay, so one of the toppings on my enchiladas is sour cream, and you have several options here. You can either use a tofutti sour cream just out of the container, or if you make your own sour cream, just use that. Or I'm going to show you what I do with the tofutti sour cream, because I don't like it out of the container, because I don't think it tastes enough like sour cream. So I'm just going to show you what I do with this, okay? Okay, so I take about half of the container of the tofutti, which is approximately 6 ounces. Something like that. It doesn't have to be exact. And then to this, I add about half a teaspoon of salt, and you can use any salt that you like. And like 1½ teaspoons of vinegar. You can use white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. And 1½ teaspoons of lemon juice. And you can just mix that in. And as always, start with less of the amount and go up. If you think it needs more lemon juice, keep going, or vinegar, according to your taste. This is just how I like it. And I just mix that in really well. So 1, it becomes a little bit more runny. And 2, it gives it the tang that sour cream has, you know, regular sour cream has. So you can see. And you can taste it, you know, just give it a taste and see if you like it. Yeah, that tastes good. That's good. So, there you have it. Okay, so that's what it looks like, okay? And that is the consistency. Okay, the other things that I do is I chop up some lettuce, just, you know, as thick as you want it. You just have that ready. And I chop up some white onions as well. And I have some of my homemade vegan queso fresco. I have the recipe for that as well. And you can use that, or you can use your favorite vegan cheese that you like. Okay? Okay, so now at this point we're ready to assemble the enchiladas, and now we're just going to turn on the comal to heat our tortillas, or however you warm up your tortillas. And also we're going to heat the mole sauce. And you can, you know, if you did a lot, you could probably just do half of it, and so that way you don't have to heat the whole thing, and then warm up. Like usually I'll make enough for 2 days, so I might just keep this and not heat it and just store this for tomorrow. But if you think you want to do the whole thing, you can do the whole thing. It's up to you. Okay, and we have our veggies ready as well. They are fork tender. They are ready for us right here. You just turn off the heat. Just leave them there waiting for you. And let me get the tortillas. Okay, so now I have a couple of tortillas, corn tortillas, and I'm just going to put them in the comal. And I just want those to be a little soft. And while that is warming up, you want your mole sauce to heat. Let me see. You just want it to heat up. It doesn't have to cook or anything like that or boil for a long time. I just always have it on really, really low heat just to have the mole be warm for my tortillas. And that's it. Okay, and you can see now it started to bubble. It was maybe about like a couple minutes. And sometimes I even turn it off so that way it doesn't dry the mole. And just, as long as it stays warm, it's good enough. Okay, so my mole is ready. I'm going to turn that off. And then now my tortillas are ready as well. They're just heated through. I'm going to turn off my comal. And here is where the fun begins. So now I just drop my tortillas in the mole. You just want to cover that really well. And I promised you no messy fingers. So this is how I make my enchiladas now, okay? So I will just place my enchilada here. And now I'm going to add a little bit of the onion and a little bit of the queso fresco. Okay? And usually at this point, if you want to make a traditional enchilada, at this point you would roll your enchilada into like a little flute and then just keep going. I don't do that anymore. So I will place my other tortilla in the mole. And the mole is a little thin right now, but as it cooks a little more, it will get a little thicker. So you can let it cook for a little bit longer than I did. And then I just place my other enchilada on top. So my enchiladas are stacked. They are not rolled over. So I add more of the onion, more of the cheese, and then you just keep going. As many enchiladas as you want. You just stack them up like a little, like pancakes. Okay, and then from here, since I'm only having two, I just grab my veggies and I will place them on top. Okay, you just place your veggies on top. You guys, I almost forgot the salsa. So here's the salsa. I have one tomato that I chopped up, a little bit of onion. That's maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple tablespoons of onion, and we're going to put this in the blender. Okay, so I put my onion and the tomato in my mini blender, and now I'm going to add a little bit of the jalapeños that you use on your nachos. So you can add just the liquid if you want, or if you like spicy, you can add some of the chiles. I put like 3 slices in there, and then a little bit of salt. That's according to your taste, and we're just going to blend this until smooth, okay? Okay, I blended my salsa, I put it in a bowl, and now that it's in my bowl, I'm just going to add a tiny pinch of dry Mexican oregano, and you're just going to mix that in, stir that in your salsa, and that's it, okay? So, now we can continue. Okay, so now we're going to add to our enchiladas some lettuce. And then we can add some of our salsa. And I only added about a fourth of a teaspoon of salt to the salsa. And then we top that off with some of our sour cream. And put a little bit more cheese on top. And that's it. There you have your vegan enchiladas. Doesn't that look delicious? And no messy fingers. Yay! Oh, the other thing you can serve this with is some radishes. If you like radishes, you can just, wash your radishes. You can even like slice them and put them over your enchiladas. That is another thing that we sometimes eat the enchiladas with. That's really good. That gives it like a nice crunch and spiciness as well. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so now let's give it a try. I like these. They're really good. They're not super spicy. I like them because the mole didn't come out super spicy. But you can make it spicier if you want. You can just add more of the chile chipotles and adobo, and that'll give it a really nice smoky and spicy taste. Or if not, you can just add some of your favorite hot sauce or some of my homemade picante or hot sauce that I have, and you can just add that as well, and that would be really good. So I hope you guys try it and like it. So, and I'm washing this down with some of my carrot agua fresca that we did yesterday. This is so good, you guys. Oh my goodness. This agua fresca is so delicious. And it looks so beautiful, doesn't it? It's so beautiful. And again, if I forget to mention something in the video, please read the notes. I will write it down there in case I missed something. But I hope you guys like it. They are so good. I hope you guys try it and enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.